Hey everyone, my name is Mackenzie Hoxie, and today I will be covering Unit 1A, What is Scholarly Research and Writing? For this video essay, we read two articles, one over writing research papers and one over preparing research reports. I wanted to say that for this assignment, I bring a unique perspective because as a psychology graduate student, I deal with a lot of research. I'm always working on research projects with my professor and with other students and in classes, and I've had quite a lot of experience with different projects over the years and since I did undergrad here at SFA too. For this first paper, writing research papers, I wanted to say that a clear message throughout the whole paper is that it's important to have clear writing and it's important to have effective writing. And they offer quite a lot of tips throughout the paper to help with this. They offer the 10 commandments of writing, and they offer the 16 tips for effective writing, and those are good places to start for looking at those things, but really you should just be able to read through each paragraph and it sound like a story. Even though it's scientific writing, it should flow in a way like it does when we read other articles from scholars. So I learned a lot about tense and agreement, in particularly like in your intro section you should be using past tense and then future tense when you get down to presenting your methods and results. And then present tense, when perfect present tense is also a common learning tense. I've learned about using active voice in my classes. And then transitions. I have been using transition sentences and words since elementary school. But this paper in particular provides 4 types of links for when to use those, and using the right transition is important so the audience knows what's going on. And then the authors talk about paragraph structure, which I also, since middle school have learned that you'd have a topic sentence and then you have supporting sentences. And another tip that I learned is that if you can't read your thesis sentence and then say the third or fourth sentence in the paragraph right after it, and each one, doesn't flow right after the topic sentence, that it probably doesn't match the whole paragraph. And that's just a little tip that I use sometimes. Quoting or paragraphing, it's important to cite things properly. APA citations, I'm very comfortable with APA. I've only done MLA once in undergrad freshman year in English 101 or something. I don't know. But over the years I've gotten pretty comfortable with APA. Can do it in my sleep. And then last thing I wanted to mention about this one was submitting manuscripts. I've never done that, but it seems like a intimidating process, but I look forward to doing that soon with my research for sure. The second article was about preparing for research projects, and I was actually surprised that this article was after the first one, because for me, I've always spent a lot of time preparing for a project before it starts or before I'm writing. So this paper in particular discusses 5 different types of projects, and I'm familiar with some of them, and there was 1 or 2 that I wasn't. So first, abstracts, and I am familiar with abstracts. Excuse me. They talk about 3 main types, indicative, informative, and critical, and I think critical was what they talked about was the main one with the main 4 sections for a regular research project, but I'm not sure. Literature reviews, there are 2 types, exemplary and exhaustive. And exhaustive means that they've looked at everything within that film of research and exhausted all other research findings that they could have mentioned. So, then there are critical papers, which are often considered a part of any lit review, and I'm not really familiar with those, but I read about them. And a research prospectus, I'm not familiar, but I believe it's a research report about another study, where you're not reporting current results. And then, of course, lastly, an original research report, which is a comprehensive summary of a research project and includes the main sections, intro, method, results, discussion, etc. And so I really enjoyed reading these articles and giving you guys my point of view. I love research and plan on being a researcher for the rest of my life. So yeah, I look forward to diving deeper into other units in this course, and thank you guys so much for listening.